Hey guys, this is Shane and welcome to my Curator of the Lost channel. And today going over the book hauls from two estate sales, one of which was just a box sale. Things were individually priced, but it was the last day and they said, get you a box, fill it up, it's 25 bucks. So we'll go through all that. This will give you some comps, things, ideas for things that are working in my store to train your eye and for you to be on the lookout for. So I hope it helps. Hope you enjoy it. Hey, subscribe, hit the like button, and with that, let's just jump straight in. So I've been out of town I was out of town for almost the entire month of May. Crazy road trip, California, Wisconsin, and in between all that, I did get to hit a couple of estate sales and got some really cool finds. The majority of which were at one, like I said, that was they were doing box lots. So jumping in, the first estate sale I went to was actually I'd stopped it by. I was in Solvang, California. Great little town. If you haven't been there, great town. And it's they were having a sale. Stopped by. Just found a couple of things. One was this book, the Bridge to France. This is a first edition. It's like 1927. Comps on this first editions are 15 to 20 bucks, but I got this for $1, so I thought that was great. Then the other thing and I don't think I'm going to sell this. I think I'm going to keep it. This was it's huge. This German volume, this Dreisen Linden. I think that's 13 something. I'm not sure, but this thing was 1907, and look, it's got the gold edges. I found these some comps on these for like 100 to 150 bucks, but again, this one has a hand-drawn gift inscription from 1907, and then the thing itself has these beautiful illustrations in it. Of course, it's all German. It's got that's just an example of the illustrations. Absolutely gorgeous. Love the cover. I think this one's going to stay in my collection just because I think it's cool. So anyway, this was a find. This was 10 bucks, but I thought it was worth it. It did fit in one of my carry-ons, but it is absolutely ginormous, but it's great fun. So then another sale that I stopped by, it was like a week later. It was actually in a little town called Lompoc. Some people say Lompoc, but I'm told that if you say Lompoc, they know that you're not from around there, and it's Lompoc. And if you do go there, they've got an area called the Wine Ghetto, and it's in an industrial park with all these tasting rooms. Really great place. So that whole area is just incredible. So anyway, all this other stuff came from this sale. Like I said, books were $4 for hardbacks, and I think $2 for paperbacks, but it was half price. But I found a ton of things I was interested in, but they said, hey, put it in a box, and whatever fits in your box is 25 bucks. So here's everything that went in this $25 box. It's like 35 items. So the first thing was I got two volumes. This one is A Christmas Carol, and then Phantom of the Opera. And these are, if you know the brothers Hildebrandt, this was Greg Hildebrandt, and Greg Hildebrandt did the illustrations on these, and I just love the brothers Hildebrandt. Remember the old Sword of Shannara, the original first print, the big thick paperback? I've probably got it somewhere on one of my shelves. You know, they did a fold-out gatefold thing in that book as well. But same guys, great illustrators. These run, Christmas Carol is like 10 bucks, and Phantom is about a $15 book. These are in great shapes, great illustrations, great subject matter. And again, all these were in the $25. So my item cost was less than $1 on all this stuff. So then there were some small books that a lot of which are not, they're like somewhere between 5 and 10 bucks. There was this, I've got comps on most of these. They were, but they were just small little pamphlets. This history of the school, I think it's in New Jersey, Bindensville. Here was a Berlin airlift chronology. It's kind of cool. There's this one, Passage Between Rivers. This was the Delaware and Raritan canals. This are like $7 or $8 book. Here was one, Wildfire Loose, when the week that Maine burned. This is about 10 bucks here. And then actually here was a really cool one, this Snubbing Through Jersey, Tales of the Delaware and Raritan Canal again. And this one, I've seen this one listed. I don't know what it's. I haven't seen any sold comps, but I've seen one of these listed for like $45. So this is $20 or $25. This is a great one. Good little finds. Here's one that it's about my book of the church's year, and it has some really nice illustrations in it. And it's an older copy, great little binding. This runs I've seen it listed, actually, strangely enough, 2 from the UK, and maybe because it's from London and Oxford, but I've seen these sell for about $25 to $30. This is a second print from 1954, but again, has great, some great illustrations, good binding, 1950s, $20-25. Then there's Ducks and Geese of North America. This is in this condition, especially. It's got a little ratty cover, but it's still a solid $10. Good subject matter. Here's over Salzburg. Actually, the Eagle's Nest, 2019, pre-COVID, was here in October. Great place if you ever get to go. Wonderful time. This little tour book, it's a kind of a vintage tour book. Good $10. Here's another Frickingham. I haven't found any comps for this, but past and present, gives a lot of history of the town, local photos. This kind of thing is always history books like this, townships. You get people that, especially older ones, people are collecting them. They're from there. They may be going there. This will be a solid 10. A couple of railroad books. One from the National Railroad Museum, just a tour book. Again, these things will usually run $8 or $10 a piece. And then actually a magazine from the Pacific Southern Railway, Air Hose. This sort of thing. This is from 1983. I think these are like special editions. These are usually $10 easy. Railroad subject matter is a great subject matter. A few years ago, I bought a huge collection of railroad books and did exceptionally well on them. So all those good things. Speaking of Lompoc, here's this book, Layers. It's signed by the author. It's photographs from the Lompoc Valley. Again, it's actually got some newspaper clippings in there about its release. I figure this will be at $10-15 as well. Then I ran across, these are 1947 and 1948. I think there's maybe full years of each, but it's the Choir Herald. Okay, several of these. When I said there were 30 or 35, I didn't count these individual. I counted this as one. But these things are monthly magazines that they gave anthems. It says it's basically psalm books, choir books for every day of the year, and these run 1946, 47, 48. I've seen these listed. I've seen some of them sold $5 a piece, $8 a piece. I think that I'll list these by the year. I may just list them all together, 1946, 47, 48. All of these, there's enough of them here at $1 a piece. I should be making like $30 on these, and they were, again, all in my box. Okay, here was a great find. They had a sewing machine there, and nobody wanted a sewing machine, but I got the manuals. There's this manual, this touch and sew manual. This is a mid-60s, and then this chain stitching. These two together I've seen sold for 15 and 20. Sometimes this alone will sell for 20, sometimes 10. You put this with it, it's solid 15. And that's also something good to look out for. When I see these this type of thing, a lot of times nobody wants the sewing machines, but somebody else has got the sewing machine and they love to have the manual. So manuals on this thing, good idea. So again, in the box, got them for got them in there. They'll sell. This will be $15. Then here's a kind of a cool ruckus world of red grooms. It's basically, I think it was from an exhibit that was going on, and it talks about how the exhibit was done. This red grooms artist. This particular edition, I found a comp on Amazon, 20 to 25, so kind of nice find. Then the Naturalist Notebook, I've seen this sell for $30. Great Smoky Mountains. Look, it's got illustrations, black and white in color. Really kind of a cool item. I've seen this sold $30. Good one. Then here's one, if you can read it, on Staffordshire portrait figures. There's some expensive porcelain stuff, but this particular book, it was tough to find a comp on this, but I did find one. I think I finally found it on Amazon. It was $20. So, and it's the sort of thing, you know, that just gives some examples, you know, some color examples of these Staffordshire figures, and, you know, lots of, for the collector, right, things to look for. Something that, believe it or not, a lot of this stuff is hard to find online now, so it's still good for collectors to have these in these specialized books, you know, for their collecting. All right, here was one. It was a first. It's kind of ratty. It was on the an atlas of the anatomy of the human body. It's kind of ratty, but being it was a 1947 first edition, I think there's still value there. At least 10, maybe $20 because of the first edition. Kind of, you know, for the artist, goes through anatomy. That was fun. Then there was a yearbook, Bayside High School. Honestly, 1943. I don't even know where this is. But, you know, a lot of times these things, especially these old ones from the 40s, people collect them. They use them for scrapbooking. They might have had some, you know, parent or uncle or grandparent that went there. They're collectible. If you can get them cheap, they're usually good for somewhere between 10 and $20. Sometimes even more. The older ones are really cool. But the Triangle from Bayside High School, I'll have to look that up. But I'm thinking, you know, somewhere between 10 and $20. Okay. Now, getting into something that was kind of interesting, I think that from this estate sale, the man that lived there must have graduated from Princeton. And I say that because there were all these Princeton books. Here's the best of the Princeton Alumni Weekly. I've seen this $25. Then here was one. It's a pictorial history. You know, if you can see that. Pictorial History of Princeton has their original $4 sticker on it, and it gives tons of photos through it, right? Then there was the chapel of at Princeton. The Paul was the Alumni Weekly was like $25. The pictorial one, that's only like 8 or 10. The chapel, it's a first edition. This is 15 to 20. Then there was an interesting from Princeton. It was a little pamphlet, the Tigers. You know, looking at a campus safari to find the tigers all over campus in their architecture. I haven't found a price for this yet, but I'm thinking something like this could still be $10. Then one of the really strange things that was there, I just had to get it. There were these photographs, and I believe that whoever this was had graduated in 1947. So it was the black and white photos of, you know, the class, and they'd had a little class reunion, and this was 1950. The 47 class was having a class reunion, and this particular one I think was in 51. And then there was another photo where they had a class reunion. The class of 47 had a reunion in 1950. So there was a 3 and 4 years after. And what's funny is, I mean, some of the signs these guys are holding, let's just say that they're politically incorrect today. So I thought it was good subject matter. I think somebody will enjoy this. I don't know what I'll price them for yet. I've sold some similar things from like some high school trips to like Washington, D.C. and things like that. Sometimes they'll bring $30 and $40. So these may only be 10 or 15. They may be 30 or 40. But I thought it was really kind of cool subject matter, and one of those things that you see it, especially if you're throwing it in a box for $25. Go for it. Okay, moving on. A few more left. We had this book on Millstone Valley. This is a $15 book, kind of a history of this Millstone Valley area. Then here's one that I bought. I think it was a mistake. The Charmed Place, and it's a Hudson River artist. I guess when I had done a comp, I thought it was like $50. It turns out when I've looked at it later, it's like $3, $6. So this one's a mistake. It may just get donated back to the library or to another thrift store. Not worth my time to sell, but it for the weight and everything. But I'll do some more research on it. But I think this was a mistake. I'm glad I didn't pay a lot for it. All right, a couple more. Let's see. This one was cool. The Ways of the Waterfowl. This was from reproductions of the etchings and paintings of Richard Bishop. Huge book, beautifully bound, and it's got, you know, all of these etching, painting reproductions in it. Really nice book. This particular one is $25. Got it in the box. Then there was a hardback here on the sketches of Amelia Island, and this one was actually signed by the author. I found some comps on this, about $50. But you can see, you know, some of these nice color ones signed by the author, $50. And then the last one, I just really love this one. Manifesti posters traveling around Italy. This really cool posters, advertising posters from 1895 to 1960. Love it. And you can see, you know, it's got all of, there's Lake Como. Let's see, you know, look here. Just great subject matter. The only comp I could find on this was on Amazon. I see it on Amazon for $150. I think that, you know, even on eBay, I should be able to get 75 to 100 for it. So that was a great find, and that's it. That was like 40 items from these two sales while I was on travel. Great finds. Got you know, most of this in the box for $25. So you never know. That was a good deal. When I went up there, I was like, hey. Let me see how many I've got, and I saw how many I've got and what they were still going to be, even on half price today. And I said, well, I'll take the box deal. So that was good. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. Oh, and if you haven't listened to the Keys' new album, Delta Cream, you have a moral imperative to do it. It's a great album. So with that, that's all I got. Until next time, you guys be safe, and look forward to subscribing and comments, see what you think, and we'll talk to you later. Peace.